Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Vicki Haspels and I'm the Conscious Mystic, and welcome to the weekly forecast for week of 11th of November 2024. If you are listening to this or seeing this at a time that is not this date, just know that this is timely for you to hear the messages right now. So don't worry too much that you missed out or that's not for you, because readings are timeless. So I'm going to show you a spread using my deck, the Mythic Tarot, and this spread will be explained throughout the reading, and I will also post an explainer of this spread in a separate video on my channel. Okay, so we are going to be covering this week all the areas of like our life events. So the first one that we're going to look at is our relationships, and I'm going to choose 3 cards, and then when those 3 cards are done, I'm going to pop them back in the deck and start again. So first of all, we're looking at relationships, and the first card is where we are in our relationships. What is it that we're feeling, or the energy that we are working with this week? See how it resonates. Here we have the Magician. Magician represents the opportunities that are in front of us. We have decided that we are going to take that step forward. So in relationships, we are ready for a relationship. There is hesitation though on that, taking that first step. Magician is all about looking at what our options are. So there's not a great deal of scope to actually establish a relationship right at the moment. It's about looking at what the options are, but recognizing that you are ready, because all that indecision is now behind. The second card is what we are letting go of that energy. So what is it that we are leaving behind? The past influence. And here is the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man, what we're letting go of, the energy, is where we like having to sort of sort things out. A lot of patience is required, and a lot of the hold-ups of the Hanged Man, the delays of the Hanged Man, are all about timing. So the Hanged Man represents where we are held by energy or by circumstances in a particular place outside of our control. All of that hold-up, all of that delay is now done. I feel it with the Hanged Man when it comes to relationships, that we were held there so that we could sort other things out, so that we have a clear path. And that's what the Magician shows us, a clear path about how we're going to move forward. We needed to have that delay about that timing. Now, the last card is a future influence. Knight of Cups. I love the Knight of Cups when it comes to relationships, because it shows us what's possible. It means that our heart is free to dream and think about what sort of relationship we are ready for, and allows us to visualize the type of relationship that we're stepping into. So with the Magician sitting on that precipice, moving forward, we have the capacity with the Knight of Cups there to dream, because we've done all the other things required to get us ready for a clear path for a relationship. I just want to add, when I talk about relationships, I'm talking about love relationships, I'm talking about friendships, family, even work relationships, anything that is to do with our relationship to anyone in the outside world. Next, we are going to look at health. Health for the week. Oh, cards want to jump out everywhere. So I'm going to choose another 3 cards. I'll pop those ones back on the deck, because you never know, they might want to pop back up again. I'm going to choose 3 cards again. So we're looking at our health for this week. Remember, it doesn't matter when you're listening to this. It could be in 1 year's time. It's still relevant for you in this moment. So the first card we're looking at is where we are. Where we are situated. Knight of Pentacles. So it's very much a time of consolidating what we want to do for our health and how we're going to, it's like a long-term plan. I look at the Knight of Pentacles. I don't see that we've actually put that plan into place, but we're recognizing what we need and how we're going to move forward with that. The Knight of Pentacles is very solid and very secure. So the plans we're making at the moment will sit and will stick. Don't be concerned if you think, oh, I've done this before, never worked, blah, blah, blah. The Knight of Pentacles is ensuring that what we are choosing to move forward with or recognize about our health is solid, is dependable, and is something that we can stick with. So what are we leaving behind? What influence are we letting go when it comes to our health? Well, here we have the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands represents all the things that are recognizable when it comes to our health. I look at that Six of Wands when in relation to health, and it's like, well, I tried this thing and I tried that thing, and I'm talking about product or brands or things that have a name, things that are recognized in the outside world. So because now we have a solid plan about how we're moving forward, what we choose is because we did a lot of research, or we did a lot of experimenting with what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And because we did that, we are now ready to move forward. We have chosen things that actually work, have some sort of background that match us, and are not going to fall by the wayside because we have worked out what works for us. Now, what's the influence moving forward with our health? Wheel of Fortune. So how are we, our future influence, how are we moving forward with that? Wheel of Fortune means that our circumstances are going to start shifting in a good way. In other words, once we implement everything, life is going to get better. We will feel lighter, we will feel much more in the flow of life, and we will be less concerned about health issues. It doesn't mean that our health issues are going away if we've got long-term or chronic illnesses. It means that we would have a great system or a process in place where we don't have to think about every day, oh, what am I going to do about this because everything's a little bit out of control. It means we put something in place that is workable and solid, and we see our life gradually begin to improve. When we get to see those results in real time, we'll get to notice them. It's not something that, oh, I wonder if this is working or not. We're choosing the things that that are going to actually improve our well-being and our state of being and our quality of life. The next life event we're looking at is our purpose, our career, or what we're doing in retirement. As these are the things that we're doing, or if we're studying. What is it that we are focusing on that gives us some sort of sense of self that says, oh yeah, I have a purpose and I'm getting up every day to fulfill this purpose. So 3 cards. Don't forget, doesn't matter what stage of the year you're at or whatever that you're looking at this, it's relevant for the time that you see it. So, the first card is the status quo, or where we're at. Oh, this card's turned up again, 6 of Wands. So in our career, work, like retirement or purpose that we're doing in retirement, or study, we are looking at what piece of paper we have. What are we actually qualified for? What is it that we're good at doing? We're not going to run off and just, try something just because, or something that's doesn't really have any substance. The time is not now to go and try something different or something new. It's about slipping into something that is substantial, that is actually going to give us some grounding. It doesn't mean to say that we can't do that later, but right now we are looking for something that's going to give us a solid base to build ourselves from. We need that in order to establish ourselves, and then we can, down the track, we can go and do some fun things or try and experiment with things. But right now we are looking, and we will feel better when we're stepping into something that we have a qualification for or know exactly the process of how to do that. So what are we leaving behind? The influence. Well, that's all that. I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. So we've actually worked out, by trying those things and experimenting and giving it a go, we've worked out, we've eliminated what we don't want to do, what doesn't work for us. So the time is now ended for all of that energy and to step into what we know we're good at and what we're established in. What is the future influence? How are we going to move that forward? Hanged Man, look at that. He popped up already before too. A bit of a theme. So the future influence, a Hanged Man, if we are going to establish ourselves with our credentials or the things that we're good at. Remember I said no more stepping into something airy-fairy. The universe, our spirit energy, our soul, is going to hold us if we get off, when we get off track, or if we get off track. It's going to say, establish yourself first. Don't try and flip off into this thing over here just because you thought of it. I'm going to stop you. So just remember, if you feel stuck, the universe is saying to be back on track with your original idea, your original thought about where you want to head. Okay, those ones are back in the deck. So now we're going to look at finances, money, and how that money is influencing or playing out this week. So, 3 cards. Number 1, 3 of Swords. So chickens are coming home to roost this month, guys. Our finances are being, whatever it is that we have overspent or that we have, not that we're in trouble, but where we need to sort of really focus our attention is coming to light. So in other words, getting our ducks lined up when it comes to our money, what our spending is, what our income is, because it's glaringly obvious this week about the sort of, I want to say that not that we're in trouble, where trouble can actually happen. And so we're getting to knock it on the head before it gets out of control. It's a bit difficult to face, it's a bit harsh, it's like, oh gosh, you know, how am I going to do this? But because it's out in the open, it's no longer something hidden underneath that's worrying in the back of the head. It's there to be dealt with, and when we can look at the truth of something, it sets us free because there's a definite pathway out of that issue. So finances and money is a bit wobbly this week, and if you are concerned about, you don't know where you're going or how your money's working, it's about getting those figures out, getting your books out and looking at spending, and because the truth is there about how to move forward just so that things can settle down. What is the past? What are we letting go? What have we done? Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles, of course, represents money. It represents a flow of money that came in. So we might have had a bit of a windfall, we might have had extra money that came in, and the 3 of Swords tells us that it's now time to sort of get out of that mindset that all that money is going to keep coming in all the time. It's now time to build a budget, to look at where we've been overspending, where we've been underspending, and what our priorities are. So it's not that the flow of energy or flow of money is stopped. It means that that flow of energy will not continue or not feed us or support us unless we start to be honest and truthful about where our money is headed and how it's going to work for us. Otherwise it'll just get out of control. So what future influence is going to help us moving forward? Temperance, balance. It means that we sort our money out. We actually, by looking at things honestly, if you want some stable financial future, then recognizing what's coming in, because that's the past stuff, no more just a free flow. Look at your money honestly, and that's going to give a balanced future. We are going to feel that we are back in control of our finances and our money, and we'll know exactly where we can spend and exactly where we need to save. And so it brings that no more overspending, underspending, thinking that we've got more than we have or less than we have. Everything's on the table now, and we are much better balanced with our finances. So guys, get the books out, look at your banks. It's want to get that sorted out before the year begins. That's the messaging I'm getting here. So now we're looking at home. It might be about moving house. It might be about selling or buying. It might be about where you are living or your living circumstances. It could be like how you are at your home at the moment. So we're looking at the energy of the home. 3 cards. I promise you, I'm 78 cards here. Not always going to be the same. So the first card we're looking at is the situation or where we're at. Here we have the strength. So guys, everybody, like, if you're selling a home, then it's good omen for selling because everything's in place and the bones are good. If we are looking to move, I would say that the strength card is telling me about there's a little bit of staying put right now, because it's strength about where you are. It's not so much that it's going to help you to move right now. If you are at home and like as in looking at your environment at home, about how you feel about your living circumstances, this card is going to show you where things are working and where they're not. And if it's not working, the strength is going to flow through you so that you can make some decisions about what you want to do. And if living conditions are fabulous, then the strength is going to flow through you to establish that and expand that to all that live with you. If you're looking to buy, it is a good time to buy. This is the time. You've got all of your figures, you've got all of your like knowledge is all sitting there. So just use the energy of the strength card to move forward. Now, we're going to look at the past. What are we letting go of when it comes to our home? Well, here we have the Chariot. A Chariot is a little bit of struggle, internal struggle about what to do. So there's no more, should I do this or should I go that way? No more back and forth internally. So all of that mind, it's like what we did leading up to this is we got things back into control. That's why the strength card is sitting there, where things were a little bit sort of all over the place, or we didn't really have our mind together, or things didn't really make any sense. That's what the Chariot brought to us. It brought all of that together because it allowed us to go back and forth, deviate, get cranky about it, get good about it. It allowed us to bring everything back together because you can see the 2 horses are in opposite directions and the Chariot brings it all back into control. So what does home look like? What is the influence of home? And how are we going to move forward? Oh look, the Temperance card has turned up again. That's lovely. So in other words, the strength of what we've got, the conviction of the decisions that we've made, and we've finally decided what we're going to do. No more ruminating means that home is from now on, from this card, is about balance and harmony. So if you are not in a harmonious space, these cards are going to get you into that harmonious space by tapping into what is it that you need for your life to be strong in your home environment. If you need to move, if you need to stay, and build on that. We're all about building harmony in our environment, in the home that we're living in. So I would do a little sort of a connection to the strength card so that you have confidence in any decisions that you need to make about how you are at home, buying, selling, moving, staying, or just sort of working with the people that you're living with right now. Okay, so we're going to have a look at like travel and moving around, and I often have that in conjunction with home because sometimes travel is moving house and so on. But I'm going to do it as a separate thing. If anyone's thinking about travel and how that's going to look for them, it might be an exciting adventure, or actually moving from across the country to go and do something different. How's that travel going to look? How's that going to be about stepping into a new environment? So that any travel, we have the Emperor. So this is about, I get this more about travel to places that are stable. If you're planning any trips, just for this week, it can change down the track, but somewhere where things are stable. So we're looking for something where if you're looking to travel somewhere or move across the country or across the world, unless the place you're going to is stable and has good grounding, good solid boots in the ground and is actually going to serve you, you may come across some issues. I'm not saying don't go, I'm just saying be prepared. If you're wanting to feel safe and secure and stable, then find places, do your research and find places that are going to be stable. So when it comes to travel, what energy is leaving us so that we can identify what's stable for us? 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups tells me that we're looking for somewhere that's going to feel good for us. What is it? Where am I going to feel happy? Where am I going to be that's going to make me feel content? So we've done all that research. We decided that, look, it might seem really romantic to go over here, but when you look at it, is it stable? Is it going to give you what you're looking for? So combining those two together, what's going to bring me peace and joy and contentment, and what's going to help me feel establish myself so that I'm not hitting the ground. We're going to hit the ground running and not scramble when we get there. So what's the future of travel? Think of that. So we get to have some adventure. If we're in a place that feels stable and secure, we can just we don't even have to do any big things to help us establish ourselves. We'll have room for adventure and fun and just exploring. If you think that this is great and you step into that space and you still have to do a bit of fixing up or regrounding or just working out stability, just know that the Emperor is there to help you do that. Even if you land somewhere it's like, oh God, this isn't working, or it wasn't what I was expecting, the Emperor is there to help make that happen. And until you make that happen, you won't be able to enjoy any adventure when you go traveling. But the adventure is there. So all those elements for travel. What is a desired destination? Where would I love to go? Is it stable, and when I just get there I can just start straight away, hit the ground running? And does it satisfy an adventurous part of me? So is it going to be a long way away or something that I haven't done before? Okay, there you go. And so the next card, or the next life event we're looking at, is our purpose, our soul. This is like the bigger picture stuff. What is it that we are? All of the things that are happening to us this week. Well, how is it clearing our deeper self, our inner self, our soul self? How is our soul evolving this week? Bigger picture. What is it all for? We're experiencing this. What is the higher purpose behind what we're feeling? Here we have 3 cards. Where we're at. King of Swords. King of Swords represents, it is like institutional. He's an institution. He's all about the rules. He's a very powerful, strong force about staying on the straight and narrow. So our soul purpose this week is about establishing ourselves as an authority in our life. We are not, wherever we are feeling, oh, I'm just going to go off and do this because, oh, whatever. It's not a time to be adventurous. If we are feeling adventurous, and again, I'm not saying don't go and do that if you feel good about it, but the King of Swords is going to bring into our life an authority or an authority figure to help us keep us on our track of what I suppose our experiences or our karma is going to be. It's almost like the not the police, but like, it's a bit of an authoritarian issue. So if you are drifting off, or I'm going to go and do this, and you feel like things are slamming you back into this lane, that's the King of Swords, keeping you focused on what it is that you're going to understand so that you can move forward. I know it's not always a great feeling, and sometimes we want to buck authority. I'm the worst one to rebel against it. However, if that makes sense, if you know it's for your higher good, and you know it's even for this good, then that's the king working for you. It's not somebody who's trying to scritch you down. It's trying to keep you on track and focused so you get the best out of all of your experiences this week. So when it comes to our soul purpose, what is it that we're leaving behind? the Five of Wands. That's all that scattered energy. Oh, you know, this is going wrong and that's going wrong. That's why the King of Swords is here to say, okay, all of that is not helping you. Stay on track. I'm here to help you stay on track. All this other stuff is distracting you. I'm here to bring you back into focus, into your lane. It's not forever, but he's going to help, and it's going to help you understand, or help us understand, that sometimes following a particular path, as restrictive as it might seem, is actually good grounding for being able to expand ourselves, because we've built a good solid foundation by understanding what it is that, what our limits are. Okay, what is that influence of the future? Ace of Pentacles. Look at that. That means the outcome of, at least for a little bit, following those rules. You can tell that I don't like following rules, isn't it? Oh. Okay, so having that sort of boundaries, and this is, you know, sort of the correct way for you to do this or to move forward, is going to bring, like the Ace of Pentacles represents like a windfall or a win, or open, like a, where life has been sort of blocked, now it's open and flowing. And I'm talking about how we live our life, not about our mind being unblocked or our heart being unblocked, all of those things. It's about life being unblocked. So if you're feeling stuck, the King of Swords is going to come in and say, well, you know, this is, you're too scattered with all this Five of Wands energy. Let me help you, get you back on track. These are the things that are going to help you. The rules. These are the rules, all the limits that you can work within today. And that way, when you understand what works for you and what actually works with your energy right now, means that the flow that you're looking for comes back. And that's a big win. So sometimes we need someone to sort of come in and say, oh, yeah, this is the way to go. So embrace that while it's there. It's not a big stick. It's actually a loving message about how staying within your lane for a little while helps you understand to get that flow happening, and then you can flow out. Then you can start spreading back out again. Well, that's the weekly forecast for the week beginning of 11th of November 2024. Hope you enjoyed that. My name is Dr. Vicki Haspels. I'm the Conscious Mystic, and I'll see you next week. Much love from me. Bye for now.